Hi, I'm Karen Sudmeier, consultant with the United Nations Environment Program and a senior researcher at the University of Lausanne. I'd like to introduce the topic of disasters as a wicked problem. Between 1994 and 2013, there were 6,873 recorded disasters worldwide, which claimed 1.35 million lives, or almost 68,000 lives on average each year. In addition, 218 million people were affected by disasters on average per year during this 20-year period. While disasters have become more frequent during the past 20 years, the average number of people affected has fallen while death rates have increased over the same period, reaching an average of more than 100,000 deaths per year between 2004 and 2013. This partly reflects the huge loss of life during several recent mega disasters. However, the trend remains upward even when these three events are excluded from the statistics. Hazard events like landslides, cyclones, or avalanches are what cause disasters. Whether a hazard leads to a disaster depends largely on the magnitude of the event, but also on the exposure of people, how well a society is prepared to cope with such an event, and how well healthy ecosystems can mitigate the impacts. But not all hazards become disasters. For example, annual flooding in floodplains of Bangladesh may not cause damage to humans and would therefore not be considered a disaster. But the same amount of water in a country not used to frequent flooding may become a disaster. So hazards become disasters when they overwhelm a society's ability to cope. Disasters can be classified in different ways. The first distinction is between man-made disasters linked to technological hazards, such as chemical accidents or oil spills, versus disasters that are linked to natural hazards, such as storms and flooding. Please be aware that we are very cautious in not referring to the term natural disasters, as many natural hazards are caused or at least accelerated by human activity and environmental degradation, which means the disasters are not natural in the strict sense of the term. Let's look at this example from Nepal. Between 2004 and 2009, over 200 households settled along this riverbank in shanty houses looking like this. Now, the media often point to climate change as the driving factor leading to disasters, but do you think that if there is a heavy flood here, that this is primarily due to climate change? Obviously not. Most of these people moved to this place from the mountain areas where they were affected by landslides, disease, or were drawn to the city for reasons like better employment opportunities. Well, as you can imagine, this neighborhood is prone to flooding. Monsoon rainfalls and regular flooding of the river have always been there. But now that people live in the floodplain, normal flooding can easily become a disaster as people are exposed. In this part of the world, climate change has definitely changed the patterns of the monsoon rains, making them more intensive. But in this case, lack of urban planning and governance are the root causes of flooding here, not climate change per se. Yes, scientists have recognized that climate change is certainly the cause of certain hazard events, such as heat wave, sea level rise and related erosion events, and some extreme precipitation events. Yet, disasters are especially related to how and where people live and how well we manage hazard events. Thus, disasters are closely linked to development, governance, and environmental management, which is where environmental education can play a strong role.